Come with me on a journey into the nature of business management. I'm sure you all have many good examples of management with bad leadership. People that are unable to give a vision or a goal or a direction and know how to get there, blame others for their own failures, don't communicate or don't even come out of their office. These are examples of bad leadership. Good leadership is about understanding a vision or a goal and being able to articulate that really well, and to be able to know how to get there. It's also about understanding the resources and using the resources wisely and giving the resources recognition when they've done a good job. It's about being honest, it's about being clear in the commands that you give. And a key part of that is all about communication. And not just any communication, but communicating appropriately and timely, or CAT. Understanding good communication is at the heart of any good leadership skills. The great thing about that is that communication can be learnt. One of the great tools in improving your leadership skills is something called Myers-Briggs type indicator, which has been out there for many, many years, and I'm just going to take a fraction of that and explain how you can use that in terms of communication. Communication is always two-way. There's the communication that you give out and the communication that is received. And often it's the receiving part of the communication that gets forgotten about when you write your speech or your presentation. How is it received? Now, from Myers-Briggs, there are 4 particular types of people that can be identified that will help you communicate better. First, extrovert or introvert. The person you're communicating to, an extrovert, then they're more likely to enjoy a face-to-face meeting, a chat over a cup of coffee or lunch or something like that. Whereas an introvert might not enjoy it if you storm into their office first thing in the morning with a great idea and start having a very loud conversation. They may prefer quieter communication channels like email, for example. The second key component is then, are they big picture people or are they detail orientated people? And you can use this wisely. So if they're a big picture person, draw them a picture, give them just a few bullet points, but articulate it well. If they're detail orientated, then give them the long list of details that they need to feel comfortable with your leadership or with the goal that you're trying to achieve. Those are some very simple skills around leadership that can be learned. Engagement and supporting change in an organization or with a team for a project or any change initiative can be quite difficult. We don't always have a burning platform to drive the motivation to change forward. So there's a useful tool called the change acceleration process that can help engage people and drive any change initiative forward. The change acceleration process, or CAP. The key components of a change acceleration process really start with vision or a goal, a clearly articulated vision or goal, maybe even turned into a very short 30-second elevator speech. And this can be done very easily in a team, especially if you involve the team. Can generate a lot of engagement. From that then, it's building engagement. And with the defined vision, you can build engagement by understanding your stakeholders, addressing their questions, their fears, outlining a very clear path on how to get to the goal or vision. Followed by that then, as you build up change momentum, it's keeping the change momentum going. So once you've convinced them to back your goal or idea, then you have to keep working at it. You can't stop communicating, and communicating is key in any engagement. And not just any communication, but communicating appropriately and timely. And these are some of the very basic, simple steps that can help you drive engagement forward. Engaging with as many people as you can on a broad spectrum, understanding that everybody has needs and are quite often different in those needs, and addressing those needs, but all pointing towards the same goal. Using your resources well to also communicate that goal in the same way. Nature is full of innovation. Everywhere you look, animals or plants fill every niche there is in the global marketplace. So, how to be innovative in the modern world? Well, there are three main approaches to innovation that most companies follow today. The first one is connections, adding two or three things together in different ways to create something new. For example, in the 1700s, some bright spark added gunpowder into a bell to see if it would make a louder bang. And, well, we all know where that led. The second approach is to define functionality. The functionality of berries to deliver a seed. Functionality of the nature around us, or the functionality that we want to create in the products or services that we want to sell. Once you've identified the true functionality at its simplest level, then the secret is coming up with novel ways to deliver that functionality. And then the third main approach is the theory of inventive problem solving, or TRIZ as it's known. In 1960s, Russian space program researched innovation, and they found that there were about 440 true innovations that have ever been found before in human history. The secret to this is, to your problem or to your product or your design, then looking at previous innovations and how can you apply those innovations to your design or your product. Just in the way that Dyson did, for example, taking cyclone technology, the idea of a cyclone creating a strong vacuum, and putting that into a vacuum cleaner, creating a very innovative product in a market that was already saturated. So these are the three basic methods of innovation: connections, functionality, and looking at innovations that have been made before and applying those to your products or services. Understanding a vision or a goal and being able to articulate that really well. Communicating appropriately and timely. The change acceleration process, or CAP.